All right, so today we've got this little visitor with me. It's not uncommon to have animals floating around my property, but this dog here is like so cute. Hi. And so much fun. Hey. Literally, I've never seen this dog before. It just came up to me today. It was like, pet me, pet me, pet me. Anyways, so listen, a lot of yoga teachers have different ideas about running a yoga biz, right? Especially online. There's a lot of objections about technology's not as personal, and you don't get the connection, which I don't believe. You honestly, if you're authentically sharing your message, the platform in which you share your message, a book, a conference, a retreat, a workshop online, a recorded video, it doesn't matter. It'll resonate with the right people. But then a lot of people also are worried about actually having a business and thinking, oh, if I set up a business, now I'm one of the evil 1% mega corpers. And I can tell you for sure, just because you set up a limited company doesn't make you a 1%er, doesn't make you an evil megacorp owner. It just means you have a business structure that protects your assets. And if somebody sues you, they sue your business and not you personally. Oh, and you get a bunch of benefits like visas, tax deductions, and other crazy perks. All right? But here's what happens when you start a business. It is a continuation of your yoga journey. A business is just a structure that the government allows to keep running. They see it as a legal entity, just as real as you as a person, okay? But when you're a yoga teacher and you've done this, right? And your favorite influencers, they all have businesses, but a business is essentially a channel for you to display and mold your energy into the world. Okay? That might sound like some mumbo jumbo if you're kind of anti-business, but here's the thing. Business, literally a business, all a corporation is, or a limited company, is a piece of paper. That's it. I have one. It's sitting in my office. That's it. It doesn't exist without the people. And so it's the people's actions that determine what the company does. And in this case, as someone who's a solopreneur or a yogipreneur, right? You're doing this on your own. You're just getting started. And so it comes to that train. I don't know what it is. I do not film these videos at the same time of the day. Usually it's in the morning, but there's trains every day, all day. But I don't know how I managed to catch that train so frequently. So yeah. Anyways, when you're starting an online yoga business, any business at all, but particularly with an online yoga business, you are putting this amazing energy out into the world. You are doing actions that are going to impact people. There's that train. Right? So your actions are still going to impact people, and you can still help people by having a business. The difference is, by helping people through a business, you're actually more legitimate because you've codified the ways you're actually helping people instead of just saying it and sometimes doing it, right? A business has policy, it has products and services, and it is 100% like having a child. It is helpless at the beginning. It requires all your time and resources. And if you do it right, and stick with it, it'll grow into something beautiful that can not only take care of itself, but makes an impact on the world by itself as well. But during this process, running your yoga biz is essentially a mirror. Because guess what? Starting a yoga biz and running a yoga biz all depends on you, right? Now, maybe you've got a coach or some communities, right, that can help you out along the way, and you definitely should, right? There's a reason why every successful person, multimillionaire and billionaire, has coaches and mentors and a team of people helping them. It's because they can't do it all, right? Now, obviously, it'll be easy for them to afford to pay for those people, or you would think. Sometimes it's not. But even when you're starting out, it's always worthwhile having a coach that can help point you in the right direction. And the reason for this is because when you're getting started, there's so many things to do. And what's gonna happen is that when you are working on doing this, by default, you're gonna be doing actions in the exact same way you already run your life, right? So if you need help managing your budget, running a business is going to require extra help managing your budget, because you're going to carry those same emotional, behavioral, mental patterns through what you do. If you are very detail orientated in your personal life, guess what? That's going to show up in your business as well. If you're not, it's going to show up as well. So you have to be very conscientious when you're doing something like this, especially with working online, because details matter. And the best way to get on top of these kinds of things is to be willing to just walk through a big spider web there. Hopefully, big spider wasn't with it. But the details matter. And so it's important when you're doing your yoga biz, every step, whether it's a form or a website page or a document you need to send into the government, whatever it is, do it with detail. Be detail orientated, be precise, take care of those things, because in business, especially with an online business, you have those things last. You build something online, it stays there. Now, the beautiful part is you can always upgrade, but this is all just a reflection of your inner self. Your business is purely an external manifestation of your internal state of being and character. When you're doing this, you're gonna have all kinds of emotions come up. You're gonna be worrying about, do I look good on social media, right? Now, if I'm being honest, I was worried about that today because of my hair, right? I like having my hair long sometimes, long and down, but usually I like to have it tied up, and I couldn't find my elastic today, and I'm down to my last one elastic, and my kid was about to wake up, and I wanted to get this video done. So I said, you know, I feel a little bit insecure and worried about having my hair down. It's probably why I keep playing with it. But I need to get this video done, and so I just need to get over what this feeling is, right? Like, it's okay to feel it, but that doesn't mean it should stop me from making this piece of content. And honestly, that's kind of the attitude you have to have for a lot of things in business. Same with social media posts, same with emails, same with website pages, right? There's dozens of things that you're gonna have emotions come up. And just because you feel nervous or you want to avoid it, that doesn't, I mean, in business, yeah, you can just completely avoid this stuff, but then you're gonna run into the same problem of stop, start, right? Maybe you've gone through this before where you do a few little things and you feel good about yourself, and then you stop when you get to something that requires you to be out there, to put yourself out there, to connect with other people, or to show what you've been working on with pride and joy. You know, business just requires you to keep pushing that envelope, keep pushing the edge and expanding and growing, right? And as a person, you have to go alongside that. If you want your business to grow, you need to grow. Last year, I spent a lot of time learning and practicing building workflows for that are automated. And it was hard. There was days that I would spend hours and hours and hours for multiple days in a row, trying and experimenting with new things that would allow me to do more than I had previously and were something completely new to me. So one of those was a huge workflow or automation, or, well, yeah, there's other names, but we're not going into that. But anyways, what this workflow or automation would do is it would check when an email came into my inbox, and if it had certain words that matched all these words I put in a spreadsheet that were the subjects for different receipts I received, then it would take the receipt, whether it's a PDF or an emailed receipt or some other format, and put it and find the right folder for the right tax year, and then put it inside the folder for all the receipts. And the idea being that I don't like having to manually organize all my receipts and keep them collected together in the right folder. So I made an automation that scans all the emails coming into my inbox, and if it has a receipt, it puts it in the right receipts folder, right? It was so complicated, and I still got a few little glitches with it, but it's mostly working. But my point is that when building that, it took me roughly a week, maybe a little bit longer, to like really figure it all out, do all the calculations, get everything positioned right, account for all the different scenarios and types of receipts and stuff like that. And that's part of building a business, is leaning into things that may cause you some discomfort, right? That's just part of the journey. And the more I get into business, the more I realize it's like asana practice. It's like meditation practice, right? More specifically like asana, because a lot of the things in business require you to essentially do the equivalent of experiment and explore an asana that is new and challenging for you and requires you to lean into some emotions that may be coming up. Think about back bends, right? A lot of people, they're a little bit nervous about exploring back bends, right? And if that's you, first of all, strengthen your legs, core, and back. But second of all, you may remember that when you're exploring back bends, we tend to have that fear of falling, right? That fear of losing our grounding and our rooting into the earth. And we may be nervous about leaning back or leaning into something that we can't fully see. Well, doesn't that sound like running some stuff in business, right? Leaning into things you can't fully see, worried about potentially losing your grounding or your sense of balance. That is definitely the world of business all the time. And so it just means that we have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that's okay. You know why? Because as teachers, our students need us to be out there, right? That means we have to do things that we otherwise might want to avoid or not really practice. It's tough. It's a big calling for yoga teachers, right? But here's the thing. When I talk with yoga teachers from all over the world, I hear a few things like, I want to earn automated passive income. I want more freedom. I want the ability to travel more. Okay, well, that's absolutely possible. I can tell you, it's kind of possible if you teach group classes or workshops, but it's easily possible if you teach something like an online course that's completely recorded, right? Anything you have that's recorded will give you more freedom. And as a result, you need to have a few pieces of tech organized in order to do that. And in order to get those few pieces of tech organized, you need to move through the emotions of being uncomfortable sometimes, right? One thing I also hear a lot from teachers is them being like, oh, I don't really feel like it. Well, a lot of the times you're not gonna really feel like it. That's okay, right? A lot of this is avoidance because they're worried about trying something new. There's a fear of failure. There's a fear of success, right? I've often actually had that. There's a fear of not being good enough. There's a fear of being judged. And guess what? You still have to do it, right? Because this is a mindset of what's wrong, what could happen, it's not gonna work out, this isn't the best thing. And we're actually looking for a mindset, right? In business, you have to be very positive, you have to be optimistic, you have to be focused. And so you have to say, well, what if people loved this piece of content? What if my recordings absolutely transformed and helped students on their journey? What if the material I put out was a huge success and people commented and gave me feedback saying that they absolutely loved it, they're so grateful I shared it, and they are looking for more? But the choice is yours. You choose this day what your mindset is going to be like, what your output is going to be like, what your content is going to be like, and that's how it will be out there. But you have to choose, right? It's okay if you don't feel 100% confident the first time, no problem. But you still have to try. And remember, especially with online content, right? Whether it's web pages or automations or social media content, there's always another chance. There's always another chance to upgrade, to iterate, to develop, to experiment, to try something new. And that's a huge, huge advantage and a beautiful opportunity. So if you'd like to exercise that opportunity, I've got a link down below. You can book a call with me if you'd like to talk about working together, or if you'd like to check out my free workshop on how to get yourself more in the mindset of working online, there's a link for that too. Click the links down below. I'll see you soon.